I had 10 days with 0 sales. What went wrong? So why am I still smiling? Well, I'm filming in week 4, and I can tell you from the future, I recover. So if you are starting an eBay store and you get to a point where you're not seeing any action, stay with it. Hey friends, and welcome to Well-Bred Wardrobe. I'm Christin, an American full-time reseller now living in sunny Sydney, Australia. I've recently started my business here, and this is the second week report. It's actually weeks 2 and 3 because I went 10 days with no sales. What happened? Well, I didn't take my own advice. Do you remember how I said consistency is everything with eBay? I think we all know that if we're in the reselling world. And it's absolutely true, especially for a beginner. Well, I have been reselling full-time for over 3 years now and have 20+ years of experience built up over time. I am brand new all over again. And that matters to the eBay algorithm. So what happened? Fun happened. Week 2 was a super exciting time in my personal life, and I'll share a little bit about that now, because why else would I not be listing? I did not meet my 5-day listing goal, and I'm okay with it. In week 2 of starting my eBay store here in Australia, my boyfriend was actually filming a short film that he wrote, produced, and directed. I was an extra, as well as being the costume designer assistant for a few days, which was super fun. It did mean I was out of the house and around a bunch of other people, the whole cast and crew, for 3 out of the 5 days. The 4th day, I was supposed to be on set. I actually changed plans to stay home and be featured on a Poshmark live show that, if you saw my Poshmark closing video, never happened. I had been approved to be a live seller, had been asked to be part of the show by the Poshmark staff, and with little notice, Poshmark closed. I don't think the staff here knew it was coming. If you're enjoying watching my journey from Seattle to Sydney here on YouTube and following along on this eBay adventure, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up on your way out. It really makes a difference in the algorithm and to me. So anyhow, 3 out of 5 days I was on a film set, and on the 5th day I was actually preparing our house for the cast and crew party. I cooked dinner for 14 people, I think, were here. No, I didn't list 5 things on eBay. I did keep up with my virtual assistant work that is prepaid, and because I'm working for someone else, I do feel that pressure of wanting to do a good job and keep up with the responsibility that I signed up for. For my own self, I had drafts ready to go and didn't get to them. I was just busy. I think I listed 3 things in total the entire week, which is exactly the number of items I sold after the 10-day period of nothing was over. I think this is the point where a lot of us would give up. And if you just keep going, things turn around. If you're looking for a sign to keep at it with your reselling business, take this as one. Give it a little bit longer. Really put your heart into it and see what can happen. So let's talk about week 2. I had over 35 items live at this point. I did make some changes. In my last video, I talked about having free shipping. That is now off. Since I am keeping prices relatively low and competitive, I think charging for shipping is an okay thing to do. Alternating it every now and again does seem to boost the algorithm, so there will be times where I use free shipping to just gain more views. Starting my store was definitely one of them. Holiday time will be another. Also went ahead and changed my handling time. I had it set at 2 days just to be cautious, and now I'm down to 1 because I realized that the walk to drop packages off isn't so bad. I'm very used to walking now, and it gives me an excuse to get outside anyhow. I'm utilizing the post office as well as Sendle Sendle works for packages that are staying within the country as long as they are not to a PO box, and it is a cheaper option. I'm letting my buyers decide which shipping option they'd prefer, and a lot of them are choosing Sendle to save a few bucks. I've also changed my coupon. Because I'm charging for shipping, took my 10% coupon and bumped it up to 15%. What's selling? Well, so far, it's still all within the clothing category. I've branched out and have been listing books and some jewelry pieces, but for week 2, bleeding into week 3, just clothes, and mostly intimates. In my first week, I sold mostly bras, 3 bras, and 1 athletic top. My next bunch of sales was a pair of new underwear, a used bra, and a sweater vest. So I made my first international sale. International sales work a little bit differently here, as I just learned. I'm able to print off all the forms I need from home and look up the tariff code as required as well. There is definitely a hardship with starting over with reselling, and support is needed. This might come in the form of a savings account. Maybe you've been able to save up while working full-time, can drop down to part-time hours while starting your store, or hopefully carry that full-time job and that full paycheck while starting out. Maybe it looks differently for you. Maybe you have a super supportive partner and you know that your needs will be met while business is new and low. This is very typical of any business that is just starting. So while I'm just starting out on eBay and Poshmark was a bust, Depop is a whole new learning experience. I'm relying on other revenue streams as well as the support of my partner. Sending items into ThredUp before I left was a wise decision. I'm using ThredUp to expand my business while I'm here. A wise decision. I'm super grateful that I did that. That cash flow coming in is helping float us until either I find a paid job here or the reselling actually takes off. Having a small savings has also made the world of difference. All of that combined has led to this smile. I know that it will be okay. As with everything in life, there is a transition period. I'm a beginner and eBay is treating me like one. I have limits on how much I can list per month, how much I can make, and when I receive my payments. Currently, they're making me wait until items are shown as delivered until the payment is released to my account. And that's okay. That's the cost of being new. It will get better from here. If you're just starting, I urge you to continue and wish you all the luck. So with all that in mind, what will I be doing differently in weeks 3 and 4? Well, we're back to consistent listing. I have items to list that I have thrifted, as well as items from a new consignment client. Opening my business to consignment means having the inventory I need to get things listed daily, as well as reducing my overhead costs, which if you saw my Thrift With Me video last week, you see are pretty high here in Sydney. The cost of living in a city is just higher. This is also changing my business model. I'll tell you all about it next week. That's it for this chapter. Thanks so much for coming along for my journey. I'll be back next week with much better numbers to report. See you then.